everyone, this is Robin from Nest Soapery, and today we're making some spiced honeybee soap. This one's going to be really cool because it's made using honey that was harvested from beehives of my husband's student's family. So they came in one day and they had a couple of ounces of honey. They gifted it to my husband and he brought it home, and initially he was like, I'm gonna have the best tea ever. And I swiped that honey so fast because I wanted to make some soap with it and then go ahead and give them a couple of bars as a thank you, because I thought it was really sweet that they gifted some to us. So this is what I came up with. We've got 5 full layers. The first layer is going to be activated charcoal, just black. Second layer was colored white with titanium dioxide. And then the third layer is where things get really interesting. Now for this middle layer, I did initially want to do a kiss pour, and you'll see it didn't work out because I am impatient and I didn't wait for the white layer to set up enough before I started with the yellow and the black. So as soap makers do when things don't go the way that you've planned, I had to pivot, and I chose to pour the 2 batters into each of the corners, alternating between the yellow and the black, slowly filling up that entire layer. And then when I could, I went ahead and poured down the sides, like not in the corners, but in the middle of one of the sides to try to fill up the center portion of this layer. Now, not the entire bar is going to be scented. There is a fragrance added to this, but I only added it to the black batter because it discolors to a dark brown. And it's called Spiced Honey and Tonka from Candle Science. It's not crazy sweet. It does have a really good like mead smell. And I'm glad that I only put it in part of the batter, because I think that if it were in everything at a higher concentration, it may be too overwhelming. I really like using honey in my bars because the finished bar has such a silky smooth lather that you can't really get with using other sugars. So I prefer to use honey over anything else if I'm going to use a sugar in my soap. Now, as a soap maker, you have to be careful because the honey can cause your soap to overheat, and that can lead to cracking down the center or even a soap explosion, which, fingers crossed, doesn't happen in the future, and it hasn't happened yet for me. But I usually soap at a really low temperature so that I'm not, poking the bear, as it were. My family and I are 99% vegan. We don't eat meat or fish. We don't eat anything with dairy, eggs, butter. And honey is the only thing that we have in our diet that comes from an animal. But we make sure that any honey that we do have, any honey that I'm using in soaps or in my tea or whatever I'm using honey in, is responsibly sourced. I almost always know the person who literally spun the honey out of the comb and then bottled it up for me. After about 24 hours and a quick steam on the top, this bar is ready to get split into logs and then sliced into bars. This will be the first soap that I offer in 2 different sizes. So I'll have the traditional full bar size, which is between 4 and 5 ounces. And then I'll have a mini bar size, which is gonna be probably around 3 ounces. So it won't be quite a half bar, but it will be priced lower than my traditional bars. You'll be able to pick up one of these in March, along with a collection of soaps that I'm putting together that are kind of like my greatest hits. March is the anniversary of me starting my business. My soap-iversary? My business-versary? I don't know. It's been 1 year. I opened in March of 21, and now we're March of 22. Well, in a couple of months we'll be in March of 22. And I want to celebrate a full year of being in business by offering all of my best sellers, all of the ones that people have loved so much throughout the year. Before I go, I want to offer a huge thank you to everybody who's checked out my first video and now this one. I truly appreciate your support. If you don't follow me already on Instagram, you can find beautiful photos posted daily and lots of stories about how things are made. Please like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, be well.